Her husband's business enemy, Lulin, made fun of her from across the boardroom table. He laughed that her ex had left her with nothing. His men smirked and agreed, saying that after her divorce, she was so desperate she came to them for a job. They had no clue what she had just gotten away from. Only days before, her world fell apart when she found her husband hugging another woman in his car. The happy family she thought she had was just a lie. Looking for comfort from her best friend, she faced a second, colder betrayal. The friend, who was a lawyer, flat out told her she had no career and would get nothing in a divorce. The friend admitted she had known about the affair the whole time. Beaten down but determined, the woman faced her husband. He just laughed, reminding her of their prenup before signing the divorce papers, sure she would come crawling back. In the boardroom, surrounded by hostile men, she felt trapped. Just as one man grabbed her arm, a calm voice cut through the tension. Another man, the powerful Fu Zhengyu, walked in with his team and asked what was going on. Her bully Lulin immediately backed off, his attitude changing completely. Fu Zhengyu sent Lulin and his men away, then looked at her. She first thought he was there to save her, but he simply asked if they knew each other. Confused but thankful, she left with him. Later, caught in the rain, he showed up again and held an umbrella over her. As he handed it to her, their daughters ran up, showing they were best friends. Back at her new small apartment, her daughter's friend loved her cooking, saying it was better than a 5-star chef's. Then, the little girl dropped a huge surprise. Her own parents were getting divorced, and her uncle, the man who had saved her mother, was single. That evening, as she and her daughter walked home, he appeared again, now waiting for them by his car. His own daughter, her child's best friend, was excited to introduce them, not knowing they had already met. Later that night, as the two young girls slept, the weight of her new life hit her hard. The divorce was final, but now she was truly alone, doubting every choice she had ever made. Miles away, Fu Zhengyu couldn't sleep either. At home, his daughter wouldn't stop talking about her new friend's mom, praising her kindness and amazing cooking. She begged him to invite them over, even suggesting he hire her as a private chef for one of their parties. The next morning, as she dropped the girls at school, Fu Zhengyu was there waiting. He had come to see her, acting like it was just a coincidence. Later that day, she got a surprise invitation from a rich family to cook for their party. It was her first client, a step toward being independent. It was her daughter's friend, and the party host was her mother. The woman went to her new job as a private chef, only to be attacked by the drunk homeowner. He pushed her onto the sofa, but just as he kissed her, he suddenly shoved her away and ran off. Without her knowing, her ex-husband was at a bar with his friends, bragging about their relationship. He was sure that without him, she couldn't make it, and she'd come crawling back in less than a month. He had given her a life of luxury and couldn't picture her working a lowly job as a cook. But his friend told him that his ex-wife's cooking was actually very popular. The husband laughed it off, saying her reputation was only because she was his wife. He thought she was just throwing a fit, but he was about to learn the truth. His ex-wife confronted him, angrily asking if he was the one who told her old admirer Lu Lin about their divorce. He said no and made fun of her for wanting to move out and get a job. The woman was sick of his arrogance. She said she would never marry him again, and that she would meet him in 1 month to sign the final divorce papers. Without either of them knowing, the real man interested in her was a powerful CEO, Mr. Soma Fu. He was the one who had attacked her while drunk. Now sober, he was obsessively watching her cooking videos online. His assistant mentioned that his own cousin had hired her, but Mr. Fu got jealous and possessive, refusing to even share her phone number. He had already made a plan. The next day, he personally drove the woman's daughter to her summer camp, pretending it was on his way. On his way out, he bumped into the ex-husband, who proudly introduced himself as the girl's father. Mr. Fu just gave him a cold look and drove off, leaving the ex-husband totally confused. That night at the bar, the ex-husband's friend finally told him the truth. It wasn't Lu Lin who was after his wife. The man who took her home that night was the powerful Mr. Fu. Only then did the husband realize what kind of competition he was facing. Her ex-husband Chen Jingbai suddenly called, pretending to care about their daughter. He used her as an excuse to suggest they throw a party together for her and her classmates to show everyone they were still a happy family even after the divorce. The woman Jishu saw right through his act and told him to get to the point. He then set up a dinner to talk about the party. Meanwhile, the CEO, Mr. Fu, was still totally obsessed. He was on the phone with an assistant, checking on a project when his cousin arrived. His cousin was happy to tell him that he had hired Jishu for a private dinner. Mr. Fu, filled with jealousy, immediately became cold and distant, brushing off his cousin's excitement. Later, while talking about the party plans with their daughter, Chen Jingbai insisted on inviting her best friend's uncle, who happened to be Mr. Fu. The daughter thought this was a great idea, but Jishu was instantly suspicious of her ex-husband's motives. That evening, as the woman and her daughter were leaving the restaurant, they ran into Mr. Fraport. Fu by the elevator, Chen Jingbai, always putting on a show, greeted him warmly, acting like they were a perfect family. Mr. Fu, seeing right through it, gave him a cold, dismissive look and walked past them into the elevator. Feeling humiliated, Shen Jingbai yelled at his daughter, blaming her for Mr. Fu's rude behavior. Jishu fiercely protected her daughter, telling her ex-husband not to take his own problems out on their child. She then called a car and left, leaving him furious. That night, as she waited for her ride, Mr. Fu's Rolls-Royce pulled up. His driver opened the door and Mr. Fu asked her to get in, saying he wanted to talk about what happened the other night. In the car, the woman tried to get away, but Mr. Fu held her. He said he was never drunk that night. He was sober and knew exactly what he was doing. She was stunned as he leaned in to kiss her. Meanwhile, her ex-husband threw the party he had insisted on. Fu arrived, the husband welcomed him, bragging about his wife's new interest in cooking. But then the woman walked in and, to everyone's shock, announced that she was no longer his wife. She said she was working as a private chef and was there to cater the party. She went on to describe each dish with professional calm. The ex-husband was humiliated. Later, he tried to force her to go home with him, but Mr. Fu stepped in, twisting his arm and showing who was in charge. He told the ex-husband that since their daughters were such good friends, they should spend the night together. This left the ex-husband to spend the night alone, which made him furious. The moment the daughter called her father, she heard another woman's voice on the phone. In the next second, her whole world fell apart. She slammed the phone down and looked at her mother with tears in her eyes, saying her father was rotten and that divorcing him was the right choice. She angrily told him their daughter had heard everything. It was only then she understood how deeply he had betrayed her. Just moments before, that same man had been trying to grab her, forcing her to stay, when another man stepped in to protect her and the kids. He warned the husband that if his wife says no, it means no, and if she wants a divorce, she gets a divorce. The husband, desperate to save face, tried to bribe his daughter with tickets to her favorite idol's concert. It was a wish she'd had for years, to go with both her parents, but her father had always said he was too busy. Seeing her daughter's hope, the mother reluctantly agreed to go, creating a shaky peace. But now that peace was broken. The husband finally rushed over, not to take them to the concert, but to beg for forgiveness, and he didn't come alone. With him was his mistress, the same woman from the phone call. Without the wife knowing, this mistress was also the junior lawyer assigned to handle their divorce. The mistress tried to stop the divorce, but the wife now saw the truth. This was never about saving the marriage, it was about protecting his money. She told her husband their divorce was final, but he would be signing a new agreement, one that guaranteed their daughter's future inheritance from any other women or children he might have. The mistress tried to argue, but the wife slapped her husband across the face. She told him he had broken their daughter's heart, and that was a debt he would pay for the rest of his life. She ordered him to leave and never come back. She walked in to find the billionaire swimming alone, but this was no romantic meeting. This was an act of desperation. Just a day after her world was shattered by her husband's betrayal, she had come to this powerful man's home looking for a weapon for the coming fight. Her daughter had convinced her to go, saying her new uncle would be waiting to help. But as the butler led her to the indoor pool, her courage faded. She found him coming out of the water, his presence overwhelming. He put on a robe and asked why she had come. Flustered, she admitted she needed a good divorce lawyer, someone tough enough to make sure her daughter's inheritance was safe. He simply told her to wait in the living room. Moments later, a sharp young lawyer walked in. It was the billionaire's personal lawyer. The lawyer looked at her case and was shocked, telling her she was being far too nice. Given her husband's money, she deserved much more than she was asking for. But she was firm. She didn't want his money. She only wanted to make sure her daughter got what was rightfully hers. Then the lawyer asked a shocking question. Is your daughter his only child? The woman froze, her voice barely a whisper as she said that she should be. The uncertainty hung in the air, a dark cloud of new possibilities. After she left, the lawyer teased the billionaire, surprised he was so interested in helping this woman. But the billionaire just lit a cigarette, his face unreadable, and told the lawyer to give her whatever she needed, then add her share to her daughter's. The door opened and in walked the city's toughest lawyer, a man who had never lost a case. The husband was stunned. This lawyer was a legend. A partner at the top firm, a man who charged by the minute and was impossible to hire. He wondered how she could possibly afford him. The lawyer introduced himself and the husband could only laugh that even he couldn't break a prenup. The husband, arrogant to the end, called for his own lawyer, only for the mistress to step in and smugly say that she was his lawyer. Before the wife could react, she pulled her former friend aside onto the balcony. She reminded her of how they became friends and how she once helped her fight off unwanted attention. She asked her what she was doing, and the mistress coldly replied that she was just doing her job, but the wife saw through the lie. This wasn't about business, it was a personal betrayal. She said that from that day on, they were no longer friends. Back in the boardroom, the husband tried to play his final card, saying he was only doing this to give his daughter everything. His mistress joined in, pretending to be sad for the child, acting as if this was all for her good. But the wife's lawyer cut through the act. He pointed out that the wife was giving her entire share to their daughter and had signed the agreement. The husband, beaten and humiliated, realized he had lost everything. Later, the lawyer reported back to the billionaire who had hired him. The billionaire thanked him and the lawyer asked why he was paying the fees. The billionaire just smiled, saying that the wife had no idea he was involved.